Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Box Office Talk. This is the show where I break down what happened at the box office, see if my predictions for the top 5 are correct, then make predictions for next week's top 5. So let's get right on into it. Last week I predicted that number 1 would be Hobbs Shaw, number 2 would be Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, number 3 would be The Lion King, number 4 would be Dora and the Lost City of Gold, and number 5 would be The Kitchen. And I got 4 out of 5 of my predictions right for this week, and I came so close to a perfect 5 out of 5, but then again, leading up to these results, I was honestly kind of worried that I had messed up all of my predictions, so a 4 out of 5 is honestly really great. Let's go over what happened in the overall top 10. Number 1 was, of course, once again, Hobbs and Shaw. It didn't really hold over that well. It did okay. It made $25 million this weekend, which is a little over more than 50% of a drop from its previous weekend, but that adds to a domestic total of $108 million. Domestically, as far as the other Fast and Furious films, it is $19 million away from outgrossing Too Fast, Too Furious, which is pretty good, I guess. Worldwide, it is sitting at $332 million. Not only is that $68 million away from actually doubling its $200 million budget, but that places it $31 million behind Fast and Furious, the fourth Fast and Furious film, as far as the worldwide Fast and Furious numbers go. So this movie is still doing pretty well. It still has some ways to go until it actually doubles its budget, but I do think it's obviously going to, and I think they will try to move forward with another Hobbs and Shaw film because this is doing well enough on its own. Number 2, we have Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, making $20.8 million this weekend on a budget of $28 million. There's no worldwide total as of yet, but I'm sure that'll change by next weekend or maybe the weekend after. This is a pretty solid opening for it right here because it only needs about $56 million to actually double that budget, and I think with an opening like this and then you later combine it with a worldwide total, it'll definitely do that, and they probably will get that sequel that they were hinting at the very end after all, so fans of this movie will be very pleased. Number 3, we have The Lion King making $20 million, adding to a domestic total of $473 million. That places it $31 million behind outgrossing the live-action remake of Beauty and the Beast, and worldwide it is sitting at $1.334 billion, and that is definitely way above the Beauty and the Beast remake. So worldwide, The Lion King is officially the highest-grossing Disney live-action remake. Domestically, it's still $31 million away, but I think we're definitely going to be seeing that news break in the coming week, or maybe week after, but I'm going to predict this week. So that's very good for fans of this movie, obviously, and obviously this is great for the monopoly that is Disney already. They got another big blockbuster under their belts. Yay for them, I guess. Number 4, we have Dora and the Lost City of Gold making $17 million, adding to a worldwide total of only $19 million. I'm sure that it might add up a little bit more worldwide, and domestically it's not a bad opening because the budget is only $49 million. That means they need to get to $98 million to be considered a success. So I think the combined domestic and worldwide total will definitely get it there, maybe, hopefully. But I haven't seen the movie yet, but if this was trying to start up a new franchise for Dora movies for Nickelodeon, I'm not sure if this is the kind of opening they'd want to see for a franchise starter, but hey, if it makes enough money or people keep coming back to visit it then maybe they'll get the numbers that they actually want to see, and then they'll move forward with more Dora movies, but I don't think this is the greatest opening of all time for something that could have potentially launched something else. Number 5, we have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood making $11 million, adding to a domestic total of $100 million, which is very good for this film. Domestically, it is $7 million away from outgrossing Pulp Fiction, which is probably going to be a great achievement for Quentin Tarantino here. Worldwide, it is sitting at $108 million. So we finally have a worldwide total for this film, and though it's not a big difference, it's still very good to see because this movie still needs to double its $90 million budget, and though it's great that domestically it reached $100 million, it still needs about $80 million more to actually double said budget. So it's $72 million off right now. Hopefully with this new worldwide total, we'll get to see that happen either next week or maybe the week after. Number 6, we have The Art of Racing in the Rain making $8 million, adding to a worldwide total of only $9 million, and the production budget for this film was only about $20 million. So not a huge budget to really work with, and they can probably double that with a combined domestic and worldwide total, but I'm not sure if this is the kind of opening that'll guarantee that. I'm sure it'll probably be here next weekend, maybe. It really depends because we do have a lot of movies coming out next weekend similar to this weekend, but I don't know, man. It's looking like it's not really going to get to that doubling point, which is kind of a shame if you really did enjoy this film, but it's not as big of a shame as the fans of The Kitchen, if there are any fans of that movie, because it only opened to number 7, making $5.5 million. There's no worldwide total. It's just on a budget of $37 million. So that means it needs to get to $74 million to be considered a success, and I don't think this is the kind of film that's going to have a lot of worldwide numbers boosting it up. I think that it's officially safe to say that The Kitchen is a really big flop right out of the gate, which must be disappointing, but it seems like a lot of critics didn't really like this movie either way. Their audience score is really high up, and that could be because people are fans of Elizabeth Moss and Tiffany Haddish and Melissa McCarthy, pretty much just the the cast of the movie. People might just let the movie slip by because they're fans of the cast. I haven't seen the film, so I can't really say. But either way, if those people might be really disappointed that there aren't many others out there that wanted to go support this film like they did. Number 8, we have Spider-Man Far From Home, making $5.3 million, adding to a domestic total of $370 million. That places it $3 million away from outgrossing Spider-Man 2, which is really great. We're definitely going to be seeing that happen. It's only $33 million away from outgrossing Spider-Man 1, the first Sam Raimi film, to be the official highest-grossing Spider-Man film domestically. I still think that it's not going to be able to get there because I think it has dropped down a lot. But worldwide, it is sitting at $1.96 billion. Obviously, as you already know, it's already the highest-grossing Spider-Man film worldwide, so I think that's the only real title that it really needs right now. Number 9, we have Toy Story 4, making $4 million, adding to a domestic total of $419 million, which officially makes it the highest-grossing Toy Story film domestically. It outgrossed Toy Story 3 by about $4 million, which is obviously really great here. Worldwide, it is sitting at $989 million. Not only is it $11 million from getting to $1 billion, which could potentially happen, but it'll be like when they leave the top 10, but worldwide, it is $77 million away from outgrossing Toy Story 3. Now, the numbers have dropped down a lot, so I'm really not sure if it will get there once it leaves the top 10 or not. I won't be able to report on it either way, but either way, this is really fantastic news that Toy Story 4, at least domestically, was able to outgross 3. That is quite the accomplishment. And finally, closing out the video, Bring the Soul, the movie, making $2 million, adding to a domestic total of $4 million. It's a documentary based off of a band that I have no personal investment in. That's it. Now it's time for the fun part, the predictions for next week's top 5. There's a lot of movies coming out, some that I don't think will crack the top 5, but hey, stranger things have happened at the box office, so I'm just going to make these predictions, and it's really going to be interesting to see how it pans out. But number 1, I have the Angry Birds movie 2. Number 2, Hobbs Shaw. Number 3, Good Boys. Number 4, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And number 5, 47 Meters Down, Uncaged. But what are your predictions for next week's top 5? Leave them in the comments below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.